I have seen a lot of channels and nobody really explains sandpapers, grits, and what you use them for and when. So let's go through that a little bit. What we have here is a 60 grit. 60 grit is going to be used to remove a lot of material quickly. Okay, it's really, really, really rough. So you can remove paint or varnishes if you're going to paint, but you'd start with that 60 grit if you have a lot of material to be removed. But that 60 grit is going to leave a lot of scratches. So you'd need to step it down and do your next sand with an 80 grit. Okay, that's going to remove a lot of the scratches that this 60 grit has put in it. It's not quite as rough. You can really see the difference there. From that 80, you're going to need to step it down again to a 100 grit. And that 100 grit is going to remove the scratches that you've put in with that 80 grit. From that 100 grit, step it down to a 150. From that, you can step it on down to your 220 if you are going to stain. If you're going to paint, you can take that 150 to a 180 and stop at 180 and paint. But remember, not every piece needs to go down to 60 grit. Most of the time, I am only refinishing, not finishing, so therefore I usually can start at 100, 150. Also remember, don't skip a grit. It will make it slower and you will leave in swirl marks. Paint is self-leveling. Paint will fill in. You only need to go down to a 180 if you're going to paint. If you're going to stain or you're going to shellac or what have you, you need to take it on down to that 220. Then you're going to want to do whatever you're going to do if you're going to paint or whatever, and you're going to want to sand in between those coats with either a very, very well used 220. I have a sanding pad that is a 220, or it was a 220 at one time. And I have kept this, and you can rewash these. I've kept this so long that I swear I think that it's probably softer than my hands. Sand in between with that. You can use 4/0 steel wool in between coats, or you can use a paper bag. A paper bag is wonderful. Just, fold it up, maybe about that size, and just go over your piece with a paper bag, and it will take off nibs and dust and things like that, particles that will be in there. So that is where you want to sand to. And I've seen a lot of channels that will go up to 400, 500, 1,000 grit. I even saw somebody do a 3,000, and it's just not necessary unless you are going for and using car paint and you're wanting that super, super, super duper sleek, glossy finish like you would find on the exterior of a car. That is the only time that you will need to do that. If you're going for that really, really Hollywood feel, super glossy, then yeah, you're going to want to step up those all the way probably to a 3,000, 4,000. But unless you're going for that look, there is no need to do that. So it's just a waste of money and time to keep going up. And if you're doing a stain or a shellac and you go past that 220, what's happening is that you're closing the fibers of the wood. So when you go and put that stain on there or that shellac on there, it's not going to absorb into the wood. It's going to set on the top of it because it's got nowhere to go, because you've made it so smooth it can't penetrate into those fibers. And it's not going to dry. It's going to puddle. It's going to leave places where it just won't go any further. You're actually doing more harm than good if you prep past that 220 or that 180. If you do past a 180 with a paint, it needs something to grip to, something to hold on to and make that stick. And I would never do past a 220 if you're going to paint. It's not necessary, and that little bit of grip will help your paint to adhere better. So, you know, don't waste your time, don't waste your money going past those until you've started finishing. Once we've got our stain on and we've put our shellac on, then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got no dust or nibs. And if you ran your hand over this, you would feel that. Kind of feels a bit dusty. Now this has 3 coats on it at the moment. It just feels kind of dusty. And what I've got is some 4/0 steel wool, just barely touching it. We're just going to go over it. We'll give it a little wipe down. Feels nice and smooth now. Nice and smooth. Now I can stop here and use some feeding wax. And this is just a beeswax with orange oil and some 4/0 steel wool, and wax that in. And I'm going to tell you what, this will come out feeling just as smooth as glass. But I know that I'm going to be doing some more work on this, so I'm not going to do that yet. But that is how you would finish it off. If you're doing a paint finish, then just, you know, just use your steel wool, take off those nibs or dust particles, do your top coat, and you should be good to go. I hope this helps you out, and I am going to get back to work now.